Okay, so I'm going to better explain this now. Okay, so we've already established that pain is healing regardless if it's on the protocol and off the protocol. Why is pain healing? Because you have weaknesses in your body. When you have weaknesses in your body, okay, the body needs minerals, macro and micronutrition. Where you get it from is irrelevant at this point. Why pain exists is because you have weaknesses, you have an upset of homeostasis because you walked into a chaotic environment, or something happened to you where there was a traumatic injury, and so the body is in pain. Well, why is it in pain? Because it is now getting resources, minerals, nutrients, electrolytes, carbs and sugars, and macro and micronutrition to repair that weakness. Okay, so that's why pain happens, is because it's receiving the necessary resources to be able to heal that injury or that upset of homeostasis. Okay, now let's figure out where the heck these resources are coming from. So we understand pain is the body using the resources to heal. Okay, so pain is a great thing. It's letting you know the body's healing. Now, when a person is in the matrix, they have minerals in their body. They have what else they have? The oxygen. Let's say they have oxygen, water, electrolytes, trace minerals, fats, carbs, proteins, bacteria, and viruses. So now you're in the matrix and you're not doing the J juice. And so when you have pain, the body then takes from your reserves, okay, and it takes from all the different systems in your body, okay, because you have reserves. You're a relatively healthy person. So it takes from equally from the bones, it takes from the integumentary system, the digestive system, all the different systems, and then it does triage and it zeroes in on that specific injury and it goes and repairs it. That's called triage, the triage of healing. Okay, well, so you're relatively healthy. But as you get older and you're entering into more, you're still having upset of homeostasis, you're running, and then you're putting more pressure on all your different systems. Let's say you get into a car accident, and so you have this pain, and the body is then taking all the reserves and everything, and it's repairing that pain. Now you're depleting yourself. But then you're also, so as you're depleting yourself, okay, because you're not really regenerating and bringing in enough reserves, you're now causing malabsorption. So the food supply that you're bringing in isn't fixing the body's ability to able to absorb the nutrition, so you don't have enough reserves, even though, yeah, you're harboring poop and extra minerals, but it's still but it's not going to the right places because you have a misalignment all of your systems. And so when the body is trying to heal itself and it's grabbing from all the different resources, it's eventually going to then weaken some of your organs even further. And that's where you see then the slow degradation. That's why people don't just die right off the bat. There's been a whole process, a lot of factors prior to someone actually dying when it comes to natural causes. So you already have weaknesses, and then the body is pulling resources from those weaknesses to then triage your body because you're having all these different issues and weaknesses. And so this is why you see then people actually die or they have paralysis. Okay, so that's in the matrix. So pain is a good thing, it's letting you know, but where the resources are coming from is the key thing. So when you see someone progressively age, it's because the body has been pulling from all the different systems and it's causing cell degradation. And so you see it in the skin, you see it in the bones, why women have osteoporosis, because those bones are being depleted, those minerals are being taken away to then go and fix other issues. And then you're also malnourished. And then when you're trying to bring in nutrition, it's not being absorbed. So then the right nutrition isn't being in reserve. And so the body still keeps taking from the body. So it's like what Kevin's saying, it's eating itself alive. That's another way of Kevin putting it, where the body actually eats itself alive. Okay? So when you're doing the J juice, then you're bringing in nutrition. You already have weaknesses. So the J juice didn't cause any weaknesses. You already have weaknesses. It's now finally healing the body. Okay, so it's finally healing the body. So you're going to have all these different. So if you have a weakness in your cardiovascular system, a weakness in your lymphatic system, a weakness in your nervous system, a weakness in your circulatory system, and you're bringing in nutrition, and you're bringing in the salt, the energizing force, you're bringing in the trace minerals, you're bringing in the lactobacillus, the lactic acid, you're bringing the micro and macronutrition. Now you're actually feeding your body so it doesn't have to go into its reserves to go and deplete other systems in your body. So it not only strengthens those weaknesses, but it's not depleting your body simultaneously. So what happens when you're not on the J juice, the body is able to, that's why people live relative, they have a great shelf life in the between, like their years of working, where they have 20, 30 years where they're looking really good, and they're relatively coherent, and they're looking sort of healthy, I guess, because the body has enough on reserve. All the systems have enough on reserve to help deal with the weaknesses. And then when someone brings in then the antibiotics, and then they bring in all the different health regimens, like the athletic stuff, and they deal with the natural remedies and all the different therapies, it then furthers the injuries, where that causes the body to then go into the reserves again, to go pull out the minerals and go fix those weaknesses. So all the therapies, the holistic and the allopathic world, are actually further weakening the body to force it to go and rob Peter again and to pay Paul. And so you're incurring more, you're trying to discharge a debt by incurring more debt. And then what happens is then when you have no more reserves left, or the reserves, you don't have reserves left in your heart or your brain, and so then people stroke out and they die because there's nothing left to keep them going, because they just robbed Peter to pay Paul, and now you've shut down a major organ. Okay? So that's why, that's what pain is the body retrieving the resources to fix. So it's a triage process. That's what pain and symptoms are. It's a triage process. The body has an intelligence, you guys. You have to realize this. The body has an intelligence. And so what J juice is doing, it's bringing in the resources so it doesn't have to rob Peter to pay Paul. So that's why women have osteoporosis, because the body is robbing the body of minerals, or the bones of the minerals. And then why you see people with strokes that are half paralyzed is because there's no more resources left in the muscular system and the nervous system. And so then half the body is paralyzed because it robbed those resources, those minerals that kept them alive, to then go and triage some major system in the body. Or it just triage something. Maybe it doesn't even know there's a weakness. Maybe it just, the body sees there's an issue, and so it still keeps robbing Peter to pay Paul, not realizing that if you took more resources from here, it would then shut the body down. I mean, you'd think that they would have intelligence not to steal from a major organ, but that's essentially what goes on, because maybe there is a specific process that the body goes through when it tries to fix weaknesses in the body. Maybe with a heart attack, and a person dying from a heart attack is trying to fix it. So maybe it robs, it doesn't get enough minerals that it's trying to get, from all the different systems. So when it tries to take whatever, and there's not enough minerals, and so it applies it and there's not enough there, that's when the person dies. See, I don't know exactly what the whole process of why somebody actually dies. I mean, as far as the specific steps. So is the first, so when the body knows that there's a heart issue, and then does it go to the digestive system first to get the minerals, and then it goes to the integumentary system, then the muscular system, the skeletal system, this system, that system. And if there isn't enough minerals, or it gets only a certain amount, but it wasn't enough to take care of that issue, and that's why the person dies from a heart attack. But when a person is half paralyzed, it's because it took most of the reserves that kept that half of that muscular system going. So one half is still able to speak, the other half can't, and that's why you have half paralysis. So that's very, very interesting, very freaking interesting. But I want to be able to explain it in a different way. So you don't want to characterize that heart attacks are a lack of something, because heart attacks are a good thing. Yeah, nobody knows the order. Okay, thank you, Kevin. Thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah, heart attacks are a good thing because it's letting you know that the body is finding ways to repair the weakness in the heart. But you better give it what it needs, so it's not robbing your other systems of the reserves. See, and that's why I say pain is healing. But trying to change the minds of people around pain is healing, and that the symptoms are a good thing. It's letting you know it's alive. It's letting you know it's healing, is so hard to get across. But we must get this across. Thank you. Thanks, Kevin. I'm telling you, my brain is thinking, it's thinking. And, and it's just like, and so, so, I will put part of my speech that I say is to do 18 minutes. I could do more than 18. I could do I could do an hour fucking speech. I'm not going to do the TEDx stuff. But I'm going to add that part of this, the pain, I'm going to say why people survive symptoms. And so I'm going to find a very easy way to say it in this. Okay. So just, give me a moment to, not now, but I'm going to think about that tonight as I'm just relaxing, because that's a lot of revelations today, a lot. But it needed to be said, it needed to be done, because there's still a perception that symptoms are bad. And that girl, Macy K from Akron, thank God that she went on to my email and then triggered me to then explain to her, because she's in my area, I wanted her to know this, to then have me have this revelation. See, I'm telling you, even my critics really get the creative juices going. That's why publicity, whatever it is, I don't care, good or bad, is a good thing. Because it gets my hormones going, and I bring them up when I need to then be able to explain what needs to be explained so people get it. And that's the survival. Okay, thanks, Kevin. Yeah, you think about it too. That's great. Yes, please, Kevin, do. And that's the survival, the fight or flight that saves people's lives. I had the fight or flight when I was being probed by the FBI, by the OAG and the Federal Trade Commission. I had the hormones right there at the surface, and they kept me alive during that whole process. A lesser person would have folded, and there's some people in the flat earth world that have completely now given up that platform because the pressure was too much for them. They really believed in flat earth, and then they couldn't handle the backlash. And so really, truly, you have to really, truly believe. Whether it's right or wrong, you really, truly have to be so committed behind your platform. And it's either going to make you better or it's going to make you fold. And so with the jade juice, it only makes us better because we're working from the right resources. The pressure that we get behind jade juice has only uplifted and made the protocol better. Okay? So it's a testament to what elements I'm bringing into my body to be able to convert any energy. And then I improve and improve. And so every single time I have some kind of craziness, some, conflict or drama, and then I discern. I don't react to every single drama that's out there, okay? Because if I did that, I'd be chasing my tail, depleting my resources. No, for some reason, I wanted to respond to her. She's a young kid, pre-med student, biology. She is the future. She's an adult. She's not a kid. She's an adult. Whether she believes this or not, or whether she'll take this on, it's totally irrelevant. But the fact that she gave me her energy to where I can convert that energy into something better, to where I have this revelation, that speaks volumes on this protocol. That you can convert negative energy into something, I don't even say positive, that's going to be constructive and to get you to the next level. Because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be having this revelation. I owe her really this revelation. She probably won't want to get that kind of credit, but that's okay. So never discount your critics. I mean, I have, because it was difficult. But without any kind of pressure, people won't rise to the occasion. You got to be able to handle the pressure. put yourself in positions to where where you may look like a fool for a certain amount of time. And I'm okay with that. I don't care. I'll look like a fool. I when I did that Portugal speaking, I looked like a fool up there, but I don't give a crap. I gave up trying to try to look like I knew what I was talking about. Sometimes you can't fake it till you make it. Sometimes you just have to say, yeah, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, or I didn't really rehearse this correctly, or I wasn't prepared in the way I should have been because I was still reeling from Dr. Phil. But either way, I stayed with it and I just, battled it out. If that tape ever comes out, I don't care. I mean, people see me in Dr. Phil and people think like, oh, she's probably a fool that way. But, I don't care. It's only made things better. Okay. It's only made things better. So don't discount how horrible things look. It's a total learning experience. And then you could always say, hey, I had a thought process back then that wasn't totally well received. And it's not where I am today. It's okay. People are going to criticize you, but without the critiques, without the disagreements and all the, I don't know, oh my God, the flabbergastedness and all the fears, we wouldn't be where we are today. Kevin's still around. He was able to withstand all that pressure, and he got a lot of pressure on him. I withstood the pressure. Lillian did. She got a lot of trolls attacking her. Bridget too. Everybody that's in my inner circle has withstood the pressure over J-Juice. Without people like that email today, we wouldn't be where we are today. Okay. So never discount the negative publicity, because the way in which your internal universe is, your biochemistry will convert that into something very constructive for you. It'll make you more resolute in your convictions and passion. I guess Kevin mentioned passion today, which here's the thing. Some point down the road, I mean, all of us, I want to stay with J-Juice forever. There's no telling what it's going to happen in the future, so I'm not going to even try to predict the future. But we do live in a world full of so many different things. And, once we get to a certain point, it's good to spread your wings, to learn different things and then see how fast the learning curve is. I'm totally like, I can't wait when I'm in a position to be able to now pursue extracurricular activities because I already have my foundation laid out. I would love in the future to be a chef or go to law school or, learn computer science or something. Okay. I would love to be able to challenge my mind in areas that I know nothing about. But I want to get J-Juice nailed down so perfectly. And so does Kevin, so does Bridget. Okay. Potentially Lillian too, yes. She's doing her own stuff, but she's also a good support system and a great sounding board when I need her. Okay, so I mean, but once, Jilly Juice will get nailed down and it will sell itself. And yeah, maybe I do more speaking engagements, but maybe one day way down the road, I'll be like, hey, I want to be a lawyer, or hey, I want to do this, or hey, I want to take on an extra skill and do J-Juice at the same time. And be able to do that and have the learning curve be like that. It won't be like, oh God, I have a mental block. Oh God, I have health issues. It's going to stop me from, finishing law school or finishing this or finishing that. No, I mean, I want to be able to put my mind to something and then see it through and it comes to fruition. And then these are the accomplishments. And this is as a result of J-Juice, because I wouldn't have been able to do it if it wasn't for J-Juice. Those are the specific measurable results that I'm looking for. And not only me, but then all of you. Kevin's accomplishment is going to be this book. And then he'll have other accomplishments that he's going to then put forth. It doesn't stop with the book. The book is just paving the way for more of a bigger platform for Kevin. But right now he's mired in the book because this is really he is laying the foundation for his whole future. And it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure. And then he'll learn how to talk about it. And then who knows where he'll take it from there. Okay, so the future is wide open, you guys. And so you're not pigeonholed into one thing. So if you're in real estate, that's great. Maybe one day you'll be on $1 million listing. Maybe, potentially. Or you're really happy with selling your $500,000 homes with a great $20,000 commission on every single one. I don't know. Is that a fair assessment of what you would get? I guess. What is it? Was it 1 or 2%? Was it? Is it 2%? What is the? Hold on, 2%. Now I got to do math. Oh my God. I got to do the math. Let me see. So let's say you're selling a $500,000 home. 500. 1, 2, 3. Right, first and spirit, yeah. Times, 12,000. Krista. She's like, oh God, Jillian. Okay, so that, I mean, so $12,000. Okay, now $20,000. $12,000. So if you can make $12,000, you know, you sell one 500,000 home a month, that's a great living. I should cut to the brokerage and taxes. Oh, okay. Krista knows, but I also had her in mind when I was thinking about it too. So, you know, maybe you don't aspire to be on $1 million listing, but maybe you know, wherever you're, the area that you're in, you're just fine with there. And then maybe you branch out to commercial, where now you're selling like, you know, millions and millions of dollars in commercial, because commercial, you know, is huge. Well, 12-ish on a 59. Okay, and a 59. Okay, 597. Okay, got it. That's cool. Okay. So yeah, so what it is that if you're going to be living on this earth for a while, you may want to be so good at your job or so good at what you're doing, and you segue, that's great. And then maybe you say, okay, you know, the book or things are selling itself, or, you know, Kevin or people are doing stuff, and now you want to kind of pursue a different interest, but still do JJuice on the side, or still do whatever on the side, but you want to pursue other stuff. You can do that, and you have the energy, you have the reserves, you have the mental clarity, the learning curve isn't so huge. I mean, I'm telling you, sky's the limit, but we don't even know what that looks like, because people are so used to staying in their one job their whole life, and they die, or they go to many different jobs, and they feel like they haven't accomplished anything. Because that's kind of what I felt like, you know, is that, you know, I was 8 years, 10 years in the insurance business, on and off. So I know the insurance, but I wasn't a master at it. I mean, I couldn't tell you that I have anything really major to show for, except the fact that I know how to talk to people on the phone, strangers, and get them to buy the insurance. But do I have a big agency and a big, huge house to say, okay, I sold like, you know, 10,000 policies? No, I don't. You know, I'm a jack of all trades, but a master of none. But I'm a master of JJuice. That's my accomplishment at this point in time. Have I gotten there? I've gotten there with but how, you know, but now I want to be able to now speak about it and make a little bit of money, not too much money, but not too little money, where it's in direct proportion, you know, it's balanced money, and then see where it can spin off from there. And then, yeah, I want to have it in different languages. I mean, that's the next thing too, Kevin, is, you know, once the book is published in English, then we got to get it translated into Spanish, you know, Chinese, and hell, I don't know, German. Okay. So, I mean, sky's the limit. I mean, this is going to be, this is already international. Maybe Canadianese. Is there a Canadian language? No, never mind. I'm kidding. That was for Krista. Okay. So, I mean, sky's the limit. So remember, Kevin, it's not just this book in English. Now we have to have it in Dutch, French. Okay. Vietnamese, thank you. Vietnamese, yes, Vietnamese. And that's, you know, when Bridget can figure out, you know, translation and work on that, you know, and Kevin will work on the Dutch and all the other stuff that, you know, so that's, you know, yeah, I'm a jack of all master of, yeah, and that is an English euphemism, just like robbing Peter to pay Paul, Kevin. Okay. That's like robbing Peter to pay Paul. Jack of all trades, but master of none. So, you know, so sky's the limit, babies. Sky's the limit. And so how do you market this book in, like, you know, 17 different languages? And that's, so, you know, So, you know, I mean, we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ahead of us. As long as the atmosphere is relatively stable, sky's the freaking limit. Now you got to expand further than just whatever you've pigeonholed yourself in. Right now, things are great, but maybe one day you want to go into something different, or you really want to be so great that you have now a goal to do, you know, hell, I don't know. There's so much out there to experience and understand and enjoy. Geez, the sky is a freaking limit. Well, finally a good American. Jesus. You know, Americans did contribute something to this world, okay, Kevin? Americans, you know, I mean, as crazy as we are, you know, people are dying to get into America. And then also dying to get the hell out of America, too. So I guess it depends on who you talk to. But, all right. So that was a different way of explaining, or the same way of explaining in a better way. And then how I want to put it into, you know, my 18-minute, 20-minute speech. I'm going to think about that. And then, because that would then explain why the symptoms. That would then explain why the symptoms. Because otherwise, you know, when you do waterfalls, you're getting releasing the excess minerals. Why wouldn't your body want to hold on to those minerals to then go and fix the weaknesses? It doesn't work that way. So the waterfalls, it releases the excess, you know, jetsam and flotsam in your body. And then it redistributes the minerals you're bringing in. So it could be redistributing the minerals that you already have in your body and get rid of the excess. Taking up the space is what they do best. All the rest is parking space. Jesus. Okay. So waterfalls, yeah, it's taking, you know, so yeah, so you get rid of the excess minerals, excess parasites, excess fungus. And then when you're bringing the J juice, it redistributes the minerals in the proper places and then fixes and heals the weaknesses. So that's why you feel pain. And then you start, and that's why it happens in stages, because the body does triage in the healing process. So it does triage in the healing process in the body, but if you're not bringing what it needs, eventually the body cannibalizes itself. So I think I heard Kevin talk about the body cannibalizing itself, okay, by robbing Peter and paying Paul. But then if you bring in the right nutrients, you bring in the right macro and micronutrition and the lactic acid and the electrolytes, the body doesn't have to deplete its own resources to take care of the weaknesses because you're giving it the right kind of gas. Okay. So, wow. All right, you guys, I'm going to go do my thing. You go think about that, Kevin, as far as how you want to. I'll think about how I want to add it to this. I'll sleep on it tonight. Okay. And then I'll talk about it, and then we can tweak it and whatever, and that'll be just part of all this stuff. All right, you guys have a good one. I'm a little tired because that was a lot of work today. And you guys just are amazing. Thank you for being that sounding board. Thank you for being that reflection back. Thank you for just all of that. Thank you, Kevin, for being who you are. Thank you, Bridget, for being who you are. Thank you, Krista. Thank you, all of you guys. You know, Patty and all that stuff. You guys are awesome. Okay. Talk to y'all later. Bye. No more Facebook Live. I know, right? Go take a break. Okay, I will. You don't have to twist my arm. All right, bye.